Yesterday, I finally got back on Jewel again, and it felt really good. The past couple weeks have been emotionally heavy, between being sick, losing my brother, and just trying to process everything that comes with grief and stress. For a while, I stepped away from my normal routine. I didn't have much focus for projects, horses, or honestly much of anything. But yesterday felt like a small step back toward normal life again. Not completely back to normal, but moving in that direction. And I thought I'd sit down and give you an honest update with my no sugar journey, because I'm about 23 days in now. At this point, I'm down about 7 pounds. And honestly, it's coming off slower this time than it did last year. Last year, when I quit sugar and processed carbs, the weight seemed to come off much faster in the beginning. But I also think that's probably pretty normal. When you lose weight, gain some back and lose it again, I think our bodies process things differently over time. And at my age, I'm not trying to focus on just the scale anyway, because honestly, the biggest changes I'm noticing have nothing to do with numbers. The biggest thing I noticed yesterday was how much better my body felt riding Jewel. Getting on was easier, getting off was definitely easier, and my joints weren't really hurting much at all. But what really stood out to me was after I dismounted. In the past, after riding, I would often feel very stiff, and those first few steps after getting off could feel uncomfortable, awkward, and shaky. Sometimes I'd have to walk it off for a minute, especially the pain in my hips. But yesterday, I felt like I just walked away normally, and honestly, that meant more to me than any number on the scale. Because this journey really isn't about trying to be skinny. It's about trying to stay capable. It's about being able to continue riding my horse and enjoying life as I get older. One thing that really surprised me this past week was the cravings. For quite a while after quitting sugar again, the cravings had mostly disappeared. I wasn't constantly thinking about snacks or sweets anymore. I was getting full faster and honestly felt pretty steady. But this past week, the cravings came back hard. And I think that really had a lot to do with everything going on. Between the sinus infection, the antibiotics, stress, grief, losing my brother, emotionally it was a very heavy week. And I realized something important. Sometimes cravings aren't really about hunger at all. Sometimes they're about comfort. Sometimes we want something familiar or soothing when life feels painful or overwhelming. And this past week I definitely felt that pull. But I didn't give in to it. And honestly, I'm proud of that. Because emotional eating is probably one of the hardest habits to break. It has been for me anyway. I think one of the hardest things about grief is how it pulls you completely out of your normal rhythm. Even simple things can suddenly feel exhausting. This past week, I really struggled to focus on much of anything. But yesterday, getting back on Jewel again felt like reconnecting with a piece of myself. The horses help ground me. They pull me back into routine and responsibility and movement. And honestly, I think that's healing in its own way. One thing I'm learning through all of this is that health isn't just about losing weight. It's about inflammation, energy, mobility, mental clarity, and, in the end, quality of life. At 73 years old, almost 74, I'm not trying to become perfect. I'm trying to stay active, trying to stay strong enough to keep doing the things I love. And if changing the way I eat helps me keep riding, moving easier, and hurting less, then it's worth it. So that's where I'm at right now, about 23 days off sugar, 7 pounds down, feeling stronger slowly, and maybe most importantly, feeling hopeful again. Not every day is perfect. Some days are emotional, some days are just hard. and some days the cravings come back. But I do feel like I'm slowly moving in the right direction again. And honestly, being able to get on my horse, ride comfortably, and walk away afterward without all that stiffness, that feels like a pretty big victory for me. Thank you all again for following along on this journey with me. And if any of you are on your own health journey too, I'd love to hear how you're doing and about your progress in the comments. And I'll see you again soon.